Hey, what's up, everybody? Today we're going to go back into the lab here and talk about some NFL draft prospects for the Dallas Cowboys going into the 2021 draft. So, this is serious. Cut more time. Here we go. Boom. Let's get right into it. All right, guys. So, the pandemic has wreaked havoc all across the collegiate leagues. Some of these programs have decided to opt out until the spring, semester. So that includes the Pac-12 and the Big Ten. So some players have already opted to skipping out for that spring program that may happen for some of these teams and go ahead and enter into the 2021 draft. So for the Cowboys, this is going to be a pressure point for all teams around the NFL. Your scouts are going to be really leaned upon on this 2021 draft class because you may have to go back to a year back of tape. For some players that aren't going to put current tape, you're going to have to go back. You're going to have to roll the dice on more players in 2021 than you have in previous seasons. So this 2021 draft is going to be a roller coaster ride with lots of intrigue. I mean, it's very deep with a lot of talent. So we'll see. Some players may go into the spring. Will we have two drafts? That'll be interesting. Senior Bowl is still on track. The NFL Combine is still on track. Will we see double of these? Will we be in for a treat? The NFL Draft typically takes place in April. I'm pretty sure if the spring football is still going, it's going to bleed over, obviously, the Senior Bowl as well. So April draft, will we then have a second draft for the Big Ten and some of these other conferences that decided to play in the spring? So we could be in for a treat as far as draft coverage is going to be fun. So, but for the Cowboys' point of view, what we're going to talk about here is where could the Cowboys go when we're talking about NFL draft? Where could we improve upon? Just kind of projecting where this roster is right now in 2020, where free agency may leave some holes in the armor. We do have a lot of players on one-year deals, whether that's linebackers. A lot of these defensive linemen that we signed, they're on short-term deals. Cornerback apocalypse, the secondary apocalypse, Cheeto, Xavier Woods, Jordan Lewis, they're expected to go. Do need to go and get some depth there. And obviously, the safety position is one that has always hounded the Cowboys. So without further ado, guys, we're going to go ahead and check out the two prospects I have for you. This is a 2-round mock draft, okay? So this is the end of August. So if you're watching this on the replay, we're doing this a little bit way ahead of time. But it's good to get, acquainted with players. Okay, now, where I have these guys ranked, they could go higher, they could go lower. But this is where I have them right now as I'm studying on these players and, relying on some other draft nicks that I really lean on. Without further ado, in the first round, we're going to head from Frisco, Texas, right across the street to TCU. And I'm talking about Trayvon Merrick, okay? Pronounced Merrick. So Trayvon Merrick, free safety out of TCU. The Cowboys, like I just said, the safety position has been a position that the Cowboys have been trying to throw cheap picks at, low-end free agents and this kind of thing. It seems like we've been chasing that for quite a while. And I tweeted this earlier. The Cowboys' longest droughts have been quarterback, defensive tackle, and safety. Roy Williams was the last first-round safety that we drafted, and that was a while back. That was pre-Parcells. Okay, so we're talking the Campo era, so if you can believe that. It's been an in-and-out rotation of safeties. Ken Hamlin, Matt Johnson, with the hamstrings, never could get going. They've just brought in a bunch of people, Xavier Woods in the mix, but he's in the final year of his contract. Ha Clinton Dix this season, he's on a one-year deal. Where does Donovan Wilson fit into this? So for the Cowboys, here we go. Let's go ahead and solve this right now. I do see the Cowboys drafting at the bottom. Hopefully we're drafting number 32, right? But for this player, Trayvon Merrick, I think he's in the conversation for, a first-round selection. So you will hear other safeties that may come up. You do have the one from Texas. He'll be in the mix. Caden Stearns, Andre Cisco, out of Syracuse. J.C. Horn is another one to keep an eye on. But for my money, for the guy that I've been looking at more right now recently, Trayvon Merrick, 6'2", 205, great center field player. Could be a first-round pick, like I said. if especially if he has another solid season and shines out at the NFL Combine. I like how he attacks the ball in the air, and that's kind of what we're seeing the Cowboys do right now in training camp. You know, they're actually turning around and they're high pointing the ball and snatching it. They're going for the ball. They're attacking the ball. So for me, this would fit right in Cowboys' wheelhouse for what they want right now, what these coaches want. You know, with Maurice Linguist as our safety coach and Harris on the secondary, you know, with the other DB coach there. So smooth hips, change of direction is pretty smooth. He doesn't get off balance. So, you know, sometimes you'll see a safety and they try to make that move to up the field and they stumble, you know, and they lose yardage there. What I like about Trayvon Merrick, he doesn't really have that. He's smooth transition, great balance, very athletic. You don't see him stumbling all over the place. 2 forced fumbles, 4 interceptions, 11 passes defended in 2019. And he's not afraid to get in the scrum. He'll pop you. He's a pretty good hitter. Where he needs to work on, I think, is wrapping up, you know, some of these tackles, but it's not bad by any means. It's just an area that you can improve upon. But overall, a well-rounded safety. I'm sold on him. Could he be there at the end of the first round with the Cowboys? It's possible, but like I said, as this draft process goes, he's either going to go higher in this mock draft, where he could go into the teens. He could be a top-flight safety. We see it every year. So depending on when you watch this, you know, we'll see where they're at. So first round is going to be my pick, Trayvon Merrick, okay? So now we're going on to the second round. The Cowboys are going to go from Frisco, Texas to Beaver Stadium and Penn State. Okay, in the second round, I have the Cowboys taking Jason Owe, defensive end out of Penn State, 6'5", 253, freakish athlete, and speed is his game. Okay, he comes screaming off the edge. He played relief for Yetur Gross-Matos, so that's another thing when I'm looking at a lot of these picks around college, who left and who's taking their place. And for me, the guy that stands out for me, Penn State, Jason Owe. So I like his game. When I looked at a few of his games, his best game in 2019 in relief was against Michigan State. Forced fumbles, strip sacks. He had a really good game there. Conversely, his game against Michigan could have been better. Kind of got swallowed up by the tight end there in Michigan. If you get a chance, go watch that. Didn't have a bad game, but could have been better. And it's just something that Dane Brewer kind of mentions in his analysis as well. Where he needs to improve upon is his pass rush construction. So we're talking about, what are your moves? Do you have a swim move? Do you have a bull rush move? Are you just an outside speed guy? Can you cut inside? So those are some of the things that I agree upon. So typically when I'm analyzing these guys and trying to break down the tape, I'm going to look at the player first, and then I'm going to read up on some of my guys that I really trust to see if it kind of matches up. And that's kind of where I match up with Dane Brugler on this. You know, you do see some raw talent out of him. He is a freak athlete. The Penn State coaches said that they recorded him running a 4.33 in the 40, which is crazy. You know, there's footage of him running, you know, side by side with Mike Parsons, another outstanding linebacker there for Penn State. He opted out. He's going to go into the NFL draft. So this Penn State defense is stacked. You know, they have a good defense and good players. 36-inch vertical jump, 10.7 broad jump. And his agility time was a 4.46. You know, bench press 380, 365, the power clean, and his body fat has been measured as 4.9%. So this guy is shredded. He's a freak athlete. And if he can just bring everything together and have a solid season, he's going to be in the mix. Right now, I have him right at the end of a second, third round. But I expect that to go up. You know, he had 5 sacks in relief for Gross-Matos. So a full season under the belt, you know, if he does go ahead and play their spring ball, that number could go up. He could end up being in the first round conversation. But for me, the Cowboys, you know, you have some 1-year deals right now. Obviously, we have Everson Griffin on a short-term deal, and Aldon Smith as well. You got to keep them coming. We do have Bradley Anae. He's a good piece. I think the ship has sailed on Randy Gregory. Unfortunately, we don't know what's going on there. You got to move forward with your planning with the defense. So for me, I'm going to keep the defensive line upgrades coming fast and furious, and this is perfect. Jason Owe, he can play on the left, he can play on the right side, so a lot to really mold. I think this is a player that's really up Jim Tomsula's alley. This is the kind of player that he's going to want to mold, and I think, you know, working with similar types of players before, these speed guys, I mean, like an Aldon Smith, and players that he's coached before, so similar body types. So I expect this to be a player that the Cowboys are going to be in the mix. Cowboys had interest in Gross Matos last year. He was in the mix for first and second round consideration. Gross Matos went a little bit later, obviously, but keep an eye on Jason Owe. That's what I have right now, guys. First pick is going to be Trayvon Merrick, free safety out of TCU, and in the second round, I have the Cowboys taking Jason Owe, the defensive end out of Penn State. Let me know what you guys think. If you're followers of this team at TCU or Penn State, let me know. Let us know in the comments what you think of their game and how they can contribute for the Cowboys in 2021. It's never too early, guys. Never too early. So I'm going to continue this. I'm going to try to get at least one per month leading up to the NFL draft, and then we'll do mock draft Mondays once we get into March and April. Okay, so we have a lot of fun here. I'm just continuing to expand the draft coverage here for the channel. Lots of great feedback, and this is a new series that I'm going to start consistently giving you guys more familiarity with players that the Cowboys may be interested in. Like I said, safety is going to be in the mix as usual. And there's some good ones in this draft. There's going to be some really good ones. So Cowboys are going to have another opportunity to get some ball hawks. If they want to finally stop messing around at the safety position, they could grab one here. And Jason Owe, I just like his potential. Could move into that second and first round conversation as well. So we'll keep an eye on that one, guys. Appreciate all you guys. Appreciate all my new members that have signed up for the channel. Appreciate all you guys. Shout out to all the members. Continue to like, subscribe, and share, guys. Hit on that bell notification for when I go live. I am continuing to go live, and we'll be back on Sunday to do the blue-white scrimmage post report. So make sure you check that one out, guys. So that's all I have right now. Continue to like, subscribe, and share. I'll catch you for the next video, guys. Peace.